belt snapped the other day. I went around and turned these pulleys. This one's locked up. So I got an alternator that's going bad. So today we're going to replace this alternator.
So this is the third time I've lost a belt on this thing. I've had 2 air pumps blow up and now an alternator. These bearings just keep seizing on this 40-year-old car. But so we'll go ahead and we'll replace this. It's pretty straightforward. There's 3 brackets that go to the exhaust manifold. 2 bolts on the back of the alternator, and so we have this one bracket that will swing that out of the way, and then that lower bracket there, that actually is in a V shape, and it's got 2 bolts that go on the exhaust manifold. Right now I'm taking the 10 millimeter off of the back. Of course, I've already disconnected the battery, so we have no power to the system. We'll get that off. We'll get these brackets out of the way. And then the bottom bolt is also from the back. So we only really have 1 bolt that comes in from the front, and that's up top. So now I've got 2 out of 3 of the brackets kind of moved. There's 1 bracket that you can't really see down in the front of that exhaust manifold. Here I've got the bottom bolt coming in. So the top bolt that I just took out from the front, that was screwed in to the alternator. And you'll notice here in a second when I get out the new alternator that the new alternator does not have threads in it. So I had to go get a bolt and a nut. So here I'm taking out the 10 millimeter bolt and nut that holds the radiator hose out of the way of the belt and the alternator. And once I get that out, then we can go ahead and pull this alternator out the back. It's a little tight in there, but don't way worse. So we got that out, and that bearing's locked up pretty good. So here's our new alternator. I did get an AC Delco, which I'm not sure what that means anymore because they're all Chinese, but we'll go ahead and put that alternator back in there. It's a pretty straightforward job. A little tight, but sneaks right in there. I have 1 bracket that's at the bottom in the front of the exhaust manifold that's kind of in my way. Right now I'm actually loosening that up to try to swing it out of the way a little bit. I thought I could leave it in place, but I can't seem to get the hole to line up, so I'll move that 3rd bracket out. Once I get that out of the way, I'll go ahead and I'll put the long bolt in from the bottom. I'll make sure that it's not tight. That will allow everything to wobble and give us room to get back in here. Here I noticed that a new alternator isn't threaded the way the old one was. So like I said, I'm just going to get a 3/8 bolt with a thin lock nut, and I'll put it back together with that. So here I'm putting one of the brackets back on. This is the easy bracket. This is the top bracket. 1 bolt on the top of the alternator, 1 on the exhaust manifold. And I did just put the factory bolt in there just to kind of keep my alignment correct. Now I'm putting in the 3/8 with the thin lock nut, just to try to keep everything lined up. Now I have my 2 bottom brackets on that bottom bolt. We'll get that. We'll start to snug them up. So there's the 2nd one. And that 3rd one is right under the alternator. So there's 2 of them. Now I'm going down after the 3rd one. So there's that third one. So there's two brackets that come together on that bottom bolt, make a Y shape or a V shape. And so we'll get that in there. We'll get the bottom one in there. Top one. Now we can go ahead and tighten up this bolt that I replaced everything with. And that's pretty much it, guys. I mean, there's really, it's a straightforward job. You have a top bolt that comes in from the front, bottom bolt that goes in from the back, and then two other brackets that bolt in from the back, and three brackets on the exhaust manifold. So now I'm just going to put the hanger for the upper radiator hose back in place so the radiator hose can't bounce around either on the belt or on that hot alternator. Go ahead and hook up the hot wire. Once we get the hot wire on, then we'll go ahead and put the electrical connector on that's going to the voltage regulator. Push that into place, move the vacuum lines around, and we'll move on to the belt. So this is the belt that I'm using. Now we're putting the belt on, and just got to get down and around all these pulleys. Once again, this car's got plenty of room. It goes in there pretty easily. I guess the crank pulley is a little bit tight against the bottom, but the rest of them are all really easy to get to. And once we get everything around, we'll go ahead and put our 1/2-inch breaker bar in there, lift that tensioner out of the way, go ahead and drop the tensioner back down, double check the belt to make sure that it's in all the grooves. We'll go ahead and connect the negative side of the battery back up. Now, of course, because we've disconnected that battery, the car is not going to run real great because you have to get the car up to 35 miles an hour for the IACs to reset. But we'll start it up and see what happens. Make sure it's not in gear. Okay, it's up and running. We'll check the voltage, we'll check the belt, make sure everything seems to be working well. I appreciate you guys watching my videos. So turn the coolant off and turn the voltage on. We're at 14.3, so that looks good. My alternator's good. Alright guys, thanks for watching. I appreciate it. Take care.